Now, as a feminist in your 20s, did you go after weaker guys like to date, or did you still try to date as far as like what they consider toxic masculinity, or this type prototype of male that they teach you kind of an enemy? Did you go after these guys, or did you kind of try to go after the softer, more agreeable, nice type of guys in your 20s?
So I would go after the softer, more agreeable guys because they were the only ones that I could control. You can't control an alpha. Women who have that kind of mentality, it happens without you really knowing it. And then, of course, what happens, right? 2 or 3 years later or a year later, I was like, why am I not attracted to this guy anymore? Or like, why am I not into this relationship anymore? Or like, why is this not working? And it's because polarity was off. It wasn't what I was needing. I needed a real man, but I didn't know how to keep a man because I was emasculating them.
So the question I had for you girls is, I went to your guys' fundraiser years back in somewhere in Maple Ridge. I showed up there and like, you guys have some dime pieces on your team. I'm not gonna say any names.
We have the hottest team in every league possible.
But then I showed up and I saw the boyfriends and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you have some amazing looking chicks with these dorky little dudes that even played for your team. I'm not gonna say the team's name, but and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And this is not just your team. This is like the average. Like, this is like this is a BC problem. It's not a Canada problem. It's not an American problem. It's a BC problem. So please help me and my friends explain, does this video putting someone up, it's a control thing? Because you girls are all good looking girls. And then,
you
like,
think we're good looking?
Well, you're my friends, but you're all good. You're not ugly, right? But like, even you, like, you've dated a few guys in the past who are pretty questionable. And like, if I'm just curious, like, if you girls are like pretty, wouldn't you want to go for the best guy possible? Why do you guys go for the dorky broke dudes that simp for you? Like, what's up with that? Explain in detail so I can understand.
Well, I mean, from my personal experiences, like you know, I've been single for a very long time, and I think one of the reasons is because I can't seem to find, I don't know, like a good balance of, I feel like, especially around here, I've traveled quite a bit, but what I found around here is that there seems to be two sides of a spectrum and no medium, where it's guys are, you know, they have a lot going for them, good looking, whatever, but they're also super cocky. Their personalities suck, horrible with family. And then you have the other side of the spectrum where on paper, maybe they're not as good looking as someone might say, but their personality is it. Like, they're so great. They're so funny, better with family, great friend groups, stuff like that. And I mean, I'm assuming a majority of the girls on our team, since they are super cool chicks, are going for the cooler personalities as well, which, I mean, at the end of the day as well, I believe is more attractive, is the funnier, chill, kind of crazy guys, you know? Could be something like that, but that's just my personal view on it.
As if I was a girl, like, I would, like, wouldn't you like go, like, is it money worth something to you guys? Like, provisioning some guy that can take care of you, especially when you get 30s, have children, and like feminine, like, I'm not saying you guys are feminists, but like, when women want to work for their own dollar and all stuff like that and make it on their own, that's cool in your early 20s. But when you start aging, like, nobody wants to fucking work. Like, when Natalie started having kids, she doesn't want to work ever again. Right? Like as you, like, when girls hit 30, I think it's like 90% of women actually want to quit their jobs and just be moms.
Well, I mean, I guess that also depends on what you're wanting in life. If you are wanting to be a mom, and that's, like, I know both my sisters, that's their thing. They've always just wanted to be mothers. And if that's the case, obviously extra money would definitely be great, because you don't want to put your children in childcare. You want to be able to raise them. So obviously having someone with more money would be beneficial, but at the same time, you want a great father, you want a great personality. So it's not all about money. And then there's also the other side of things, girls who, like, for myself, I don't even know if I want kids. I would way rather make money, be successful on my own, and have someone that I can share it with and have a lot of fun with. So I mean, I think it honestly is just a personal thing.
That's a mindset most girls have. To what end though? Like for example, like, you can make millions of dollars, whatever you do, girls or guys, but if you have no purpose, like real fulfillment, like, I've noticed, because I never wanted kids at all until I had my kid. I was so wrong on so many levels, and I felt so bad for convincing guys not to have kids. Now I feel like a piece of shit. Now I'm trying to try to have people have kids, because it's the best thing you'll ever do. It's the most fulfilling thing. Like, literally, life is, when you get, I'm almost 40, when you get older, your friends start marrying off or moving away career wise, whatever it is, and your friend circle goes from when you're 20s to a lot to like zero.
Yeah.
And then life becomes so boring.
Yeah.
Unfulfillment. You can make so much money, but if you're not fulfilled, and a woman's fulfillment and a man's fulfillment is actually raising families.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. But again, I think it's a situational thing. Like for myself, I come from a huge family. My two sisters are my very best friends. They both want 3+ kids. I'm so close with them. They're going to have kids. I'm going to be a really sick aunt. I can take the kids on vacations. I can do my own thing, still go to family dinners, and still go to bed, get 12 hours of sleep at night. Don't need to raise a kid. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's different when you have your own kids, because I didn't like kids until I had my own kid.
True.
Because when you see someone's kid crying, it drives you fucking bananas.
Yeah.
But when I had my own kid, the crying is the most beautiful thing. Like it doesn't bug me at all. Like Natalie's really good. Like we have a system where I pay all the bills, but she takes care of the kid on all levels. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have to wake up. We have separate bedrooms while the kids are young, so I can sleep and she can take care of the kids upstairs. But like I have it made. Like most guys don't have it made. Like a lot of guys nowadays, as soon as they get home from a 10-hour shift, the woman hands the kid over and like they go out for drinking with the girlfriends. It's just like fucking mind blowing. I'm like, how do you even tolerate that? Like, because nowadays women just want equal rights, but then like don't want equal responsibilities or equal bill payments. Yeah. Like, you know, if my bills are $12,000 a month, I have to pay $12,000 a month without question, right? I don't expect her to pay $6,000 on the first every month. Yeah. You know, because that's not our agreement, right? So arguments, you take kids, I take bills, we'll live a good lifestyle moving forward, but it's a system. Yeah. Right? Most people can't do that nowadays because everyone's broke, it seems like. Yeah. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I think it takes time to understand as you get older the value of dating someone that has money or the expectation that they're going to take care of you. I didn't see that for a long time, but I do see that now, and I see that in my own family. My own family's like upbringing. My mom did work throughout her life and upbringing of kids and everything like that, but later on as I got older I realized how much work it was, and I was like, how can she do this? You know, how could she work and be a good mom and clean the house and so on and so on? And I was like, this is exhausting. It's exhausting. How do women do both? But there can be a balance. In, you know, in a perfect world, I would love to be able to still have a purpose and value in what I like to do as in a career, but I don't think I would want to work full time. I think I would still have something on the back burner, or maybe go back to it after having kids. Like I do value being able to have some independence or have a career. But now that I've gotten older, I think that I want not to work. Like I want to be able to raise kids.
They call that it's not, I'm just being honest with you girls, they call that hitting the wall. Like every girl, once they hit close to 30 or just after 30, they realize that one fact. Because like when I see what now, being a mom is a full-time fucking job. It's worse than a construction job. Yeah. Because it's constant attention 24/7. Like the last thing she wants to give any two fucks about is paying bills or waking up. Yeah. She just works out of boredom because before we met, I'm like, I don't want to be 80 with you on a porch somewhere and be like, I never held you back from a career. I don't want to hear those words from your mouth. Yeah. So please go. You're 26. Go do something with your life. Try something. What do you want to do? Like let's line it up so we have the summers off together, because I don't work summers. She doesn't work summers. She's a school teacher. I want you home at 3:00. You know, like she works 5 hours a day. She has paid vacations, all school time off. Like it's amazing. And I'm like, just try something so you can say you did something with yourself, right? Because I don't want to hear it later, you know. And then now she's working. She's like, I fucking hate it. She did her degree during COVID. And then I'm like, you know what, might as well just go try it and see what you think. You don't have to, but just try it out. And now we're trying for number 2 because we want 4 kids total. Now she's like, I'm planning my 18 once she gets pregnant, or a kid, where they call it after birth. I want 18 months off. I don't want to go back to work. I'm probably not going to go back to work. Mat leave, yeah. So like when women get older, they don't want to work, and I don't blame them. Working sucks. Like no guy wakes up in the morning and is like, I can't wait to go to work.
But to get back to like, why do hot women date betas, or what happened with our hockey team in your example? I think that honestly, it's also lifestyle, right? So to me, how it happened was just like who's in my circle of life. Like, sure, they were in my hockey world. They were easy to talk to, fun, good personalities. And maybe I just valued like somebody that was good at hockey, but then I was attracted to them in other ways, and just we're all hanging out like friends. And that's kind of how it starts. I think that's important too. And like Sid just said, like that it wasn't to them, it is personality and it was humor, and it wasn't about money, and it was just,
I don't think it goes so far though, personality, right? You know, like for me, I didn't marry. I have a 4 to 5 star relationship, like 4 to 5. Like that's fucking
Like,
good compared to today's standards, right? 4 to 5. The one thing we're missing is great sex. You know, every girl ever had, every guy will say this, every girl that you have great sex with, or even girls that say this, don't marry that person. Yeah. Like, because if that's the only thing that keeps you together, it's going to fail. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she's a great mom. She serves the family. She puts us first. She's super 1930s traditional. She's all about just selfless. But then we all have our duties. I pay the bills without question. I just bought her a brand new car. I pay for all the trips. I buy everything, right? But like, she has her duties and she never complains, never bitches. And I was like, so I put a ring on it. Plus she was 26 with no kids. You know how hard that is? When before her, I only went on dates with single mothers. That's all I could find. Right? It was the weirdest thing.
It's slim pickings around here. The Fraser Valley is it's low.
You think 8 billion people in the world, you think there'd be some good picks, but like even my good friends, like both Tysons, they just married 2 girls with they both have a girl each that have kids with someone else. And they're good looking fucking guys, like the hottest guys you ever see. Yeah. And that's all they can find, because the one main thing, I'm like, why did, like my cousin Tyson, he just married a girl that has 4 kids with someone else. And he's used to play for the like Whitecaps and German soccer back in the day. And he's like, the reason why I picked her over like single girls with no children in BC is because they actually treat me traditional, bring me peace. The number one thing guys love the most is coming home and it's a peaceful home. Yeah. There's no arguing. There's no bitching or nagging. Like, how I knew I had a winner with mine is she didn't want to go on girls' Vegas trips. She didn't want to go on girls' trip because she knew I understood what that meant. I'm not an idiot. Like, you never tell a girl what to do. You just treat her how she acts. Same way. It goes vice versa. So if she wanted to go and party and club, I would just stop paying the bills. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I want wife treatment. I'm not going to do, if you want to act like a hoe or a single girl, I'll give you that treatment, right? So that's how I kind of developed a relationship on what I wanted. And now girls nowadays, they're so like liberated that they want to do everything they want to do. This is like girls in their young 20s, right? And then when the girls start getting older, they start realizing, that's, if they want a good guy, they probably have to act different. Same with guys. Like, if I don't go clubbing,
it's not sustainable.
It's not. No, like, I would never go clubbing. I would never go on a guy's trip. Whatever rules we have for each other, it's for both of us. It's 50-50.
I think like the whole like girls trip, guys trip thing, I think that there should, this again is my own opinion, obviously everyone's different, but there should be a little bit of like trust, but also I guess it is depending who you're with. But like for me, if I was in a relationship, I would trust that my guy can like go out with his guy friends. I can go out with my girlfriends. We don't need to talk about it, whatever, come back and we just like continue on.
I agree with you because it depends on their friends. Yeah. Like, so she had this group of friends called the Gals. They all cheated on their boyfriends. They all went partying, left their boyfriends at home, the simps at home. Yeah. Did whatever they wanted with the guy. So when she wanted to go out with them, I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but I'm not going to date you because I don't want to. This is the first year of dating. Like, we were just getting to know each other. But then she had these other group of friends that were married women with kids. And she just went on a trip with them to a bachelorette party in Seattle. I had zero fucking problem with it. Zero worries, because I knew the women were actually good chicks. Yeah. So right. So it was like it was fine. Like she didn't want to go. I'm like, I'm gonna pay for you to go because I need you to go have some fun. This is your best friend for 30 years. She's getting married. Please go. She's like, but I want to stay home with you. She's like such a mom and homebody. I'm like, you used to party 4 nights a week when I first met you. Yeah. Like, you're 30 now. I want to see if you still have it. Like, go have some fun, because it's almost good to go out. I go out twice a year just to see how good I have it at home. Because you go talk to a random girl, you're like, wow, I have it so good at home.
Well, that's the thing too, right? And then all of a sudden, it's not that like, I don't know, you go out there and you realize it's grass isn't greener
It's
on the other
not
side.
greener.
You know what I
No,
mean?
it's burnt black. Yeah, like when she got hit on all the time in Seattle, and I was loving it. I was like,
Yeah.
how is it? How's talking to broke dudes?
Yeah.
She's like, it's terrible. They're so fat and ugly, or like they're just slobbery-ish, or just nothing
But
she wants
also
to be
like
part
just
of.
still being, we're still young,
Mhm.
right? So it's nice to get that a little bit of that attention that,
Yeah.
hey, I am a good looking person.
Yeah.
Sure, compliment me.
I
but
always say
I
if
still
you're-
get to go home to my
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. I always say it's good if your girl doesn't get hit on, you're dating an ugly chick. Like, I love it. Like, if she gets hit on, because I love to see her reaction to it. That's what turns me on about her. Yeah. And I see how bad she like cuts them down. I'm like, that's hot. I even pretend I'm that guy that doesn't know her, and I'm like, yeah, you should probably go hit on that chick, see what she says.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't even think it's about like ugly girls or ugly guys or anything like that. Like, I just think at the end of the day too, if you are with someone that you love and you want to be with, or someone comes up and hits on you, I feel like you should.
I wasn't talking about looks. I was talking ugly overall, personality.
Okay, yeah.
Because I've talked to the hottest girls.
Yeah.
As soon as they open their mouth, it's like, ew.
Oh yeah.
Like,
No,
ew.
it's so bad now. It's gotten so much worse. It used to be not nearly as bad, where good looking guys, good looking girls, whatever, and their personalities were okay. Now it's just I see a few good looking girls walk into a bar and I'm like, high maintenance, disgusting. Like, just
or
their
ego.
Their personalities
Yeah.
like just are like shining through in like the worst way, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
You can't really find, honestly, humble, nice looking, nice, genuine people anymore.
They call those the unicorns. What fortunately Alex finally found. Cam is a unicorn. He's a 4 to 5 stars. The only thing he's lacking is just money, but that's just most guys. But I already told my wife he's 3 guys that I know that I would approve if my daughter dated a guy like that in the future. Cam is one of them. Dean's another one, and I have another buddy the same. Say like
you caught yourself a unicorn there, buddy.
He's a good guy. He's like
Yeah.
he's like fucking like high value guy. Like, he's a traditional old school, but he's still an alpha. Like, when you dated those guys in the past, you just would talk and they would not fulfill you on a lot of levels. I just like if you actually tried, like, these guys
before that
suck.
I did date one alpha, but it was overly alpha and just controlling.
Yes, Cam's a
And
Sigma. He's
it's
just
more
a
of
quiet
like
one.
you gotta have that balance of respect too.
Mhm.
And now, and I think something switches too when you do date someone that you know that you value them to that level, that it's solid, and you're like, I'm not gonna even go there. Like, why would I want anything else?
That's how you develop boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, I never in a million years, like before my wife, I did whatever the fuck I wanted when I wanted. Now with her, I think twice and say to myself, do I want her to treat me like that? And do I want to bring bad energy into our home, especially with a child around? Do we want to fight? Do we want to break up? Like, sometimes we're so, like, our first year was absolute hell because we were both just got single. We just wanted to have some fun, right? And it was just tit for tat. And we finally had a truce. Like, she was a good chick and I had potential to be a good guy, and she brought the best out of me. So, and then she got pregnant. So that just changed everything. And then now it's just like, sometimes we'll have a little bit of an argument and we'll stop instantly because our worst fear is breaking up and then having a step parent involved on either side. Like, that's my worst fear, another guy raising my kid. And so I'll instantly like stop a fight. I'm like, no, we're not breaking up ever. Like, we'll never break up. We can't break up because we're going to have 4 kids. She came from a foster family, so she's never had her family. So she wants a family so bad. Like, it's crazy how bad she wants one, right? I grew up in a broken home. Most of us have. So I want it so bad, right? And especially, I can't imagine not seeing my kid every day. That would just crush me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I feel like if you are gonna have kids and you want to raise them right, definitely like staying together would obviously be the best thing possible.
I honestly think that should be a law. Like, if you're, especially because if you
Change
have
the government.
The divorce rate is at 85% in North America.
Yeah, that
right?
doesn't surprise
That's
me.
insane. And like, when you have children, and like, my mom brought random guys home all the time when I was a kid, and it drove me nuts. It fucking drove me insane. I drive any guy insane. And when you have children, this is why I always tell girls and guys, the biggest decision you'll make ever in life is the person you have kids with.
Yeah.
Right? And you should treat marriage as a serious thing. If you want to break up with someone, just don't get married.
Yeah.
Like honestly, you should vet that person like to a T. Credit scores, everything, like just to a fucking T. Financials, everything. Because if I'm going to build a life with you and spend millions of dollars on you and invest my time and have kids with you, like, this is a life thing.
Yeah.
Like it is. Like, I'm sorry, when we got married and have kids, it's about the kids' happiness. We're secondary.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about my personal happiness or hers. But that's okay, because we love our family so much that we will do anything. Like, we're definitely a rare mindset. Most families, a lot of people shouldn't even have kids because how they're so selfish. They're like, I want to go on a Mexico trip, or I want to buy a bag of blow. Like, well, maybe you should put your kid first. Like, we canceled our Vegas trip so we could take our kid to Disneyland. Like, that's how devoted we are to our kids. But we're rare, you know, just because we want it so bad, because we never had it as a kid, right? You know, some people that grow up in big families, they've seen big families their whole life. They might not want kids. Like, my brother doesn't even want to have kids. His girl he dated doesn't even want children. They just want to travel and do whatever is help. That's their free will choice. That's fine. But like, you have to really want something to stick with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like unless you're like 190% sure that you want kids forever and everything that comes with it, and your life is over it, now it is your kids, you shouldn't even consider it. And that's why I don't know, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want them or not, because I like my freedom a lot.
I think you both would be good moms though, and I think we need more women like you to have kids, because you guys are the right type. Like, if you and Cam would work it out, and I always bug Cam when you guys have kids, you know, like, you guys are the type of people that should have children, right? There's a lot of people that are having kids that shouldn't be parents. Right. So honestly, I think, Sydney, you'll meet the right guy one day.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think that parenting comes from within too, right? And like, obviously you've had this partnership with this person, but now your number one is that kid. But building that partnership first is also really important, because you need that foundation together to be able to put your kid first. Another thing that comes out of parenting is understanding your own childhood and bringing in what you experienced in your childhood and bettering it. How can I be a parent and correct the things that maybe I didn't do well as a kid, like because of parenting? And I think every parent does desire that. You look back generations and you see, okay, my parents, maybe they didn't have a great upbringing, or they had some things that went wrong, or drugs, addiction in their family, and then you're the next generation and you're that parent and you're like, I don't want to be drug addicted and raising kids, you know. And that's where it can continue to evolve and get better, and you're going to build stronger families if you learn from
I always
previous.
I always tell my dad he's the best teacher I ever had. And my dad lives in a mobile home, was a huge coke addict, booze hound. And like, he's like, why? I'm like, because you're the definition of what not to do. And like, I've saw every decision you've made, and I've completely did the opposite of you. My life has turned out perfect. My wife's real mom was a junkie, turned her up when she was 3 into a foster family, met her mom when she was 14, just a complete East Hastings drug addict, you know what I mean? And just, she could have gone that direction, which most people kind of do sometimes, or she went the complete opposite direction of like sober, you know, good parent, traditional values, because she wants to build a family. She wants to raise a family a childhood that her daughter never has to experience, right? So definitely learn from your parents' mistakes moving forward, because no one's perfect at all.
No, there's no rule book to parenting. And I always tell my parents that, because I made mistakes growing up, and they looked at me and they're like, why did you do what you do? Like, what did we do wrong? And I was like, what do you mean? You can't say, what do you do wrong? There's no rule book to this. You're still figuring it out. I'm still figuring out. We're our own person. And you have to be forgiving, and you have to be willing to learn. That's
number one thing I learned about marriage. I always ask people that are 50 years, 60 years plus married, like, what's the number one advice you can give me? Because I want to make it. Forgiveness. It's not about happiness. Marriage is not love. No. Love is an action, not a feeling. You lose that happy feeling over a while, but you commit to the action of love. That's what makes it grand, and nobody's perfect.
Do you think that there is a way to keep that feeling, or do you think personally that it's you fall out of love?
You have
always?
to generate. So the best thing I ever did, I had a diet coach. Not a diet coach.
They said a diet coach.
No, I do have a diet coach, but I had a relationship coach before I met Natalie. I was like, because I just kept dating the wrong women, partiers, great sex, psychotic bitches, call the cops on me, like, just like the worst. But like,
okay, but also, I just want to stop you there.
Yeah.
Did you always meet them at the bar?
No, I never picked up girls from the bar. I was very systematical. I would pick up 10 numbers from the bar.
Yeah.
And I would, out of 10 girls, you'd have a 50% ratio callback, and you might be able to bang 30% ratio.
Because this is one thing that I don't understand, that a lot of guys are always like, oh, where do we find the good girls? Where do you find the good girls? But then they're picking up girls at the bar. And I'm like, well, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I used to do social media, Tinder and all that shit. And then I deleted it. I got my dating coach, and then I was like, hey, this is all I was honest, brutally honest. And I decided the one that I meet, I was 32, the one I meet, I'm going to be fucking brutally honest from day one about everything about me, everything I've ever done. Because I always, time reveals all truths. And if you're going to build a life with someone, clear slate. Like, this is who I am. I've banged this many girls. I've done this bad things. I need you to know the truth about me moving forward, because then you can never bitch about anything in the future about me if you hear anything. So I deleted everything. And she was the first organic girl that I just want to talk to and said, hey, how's it going, on a boat party that I was with, that friends were trying to introduce us. And she just was traveling for 7 years, just got back to Canada, was there for 2 weeks. And I just grabbed her number. And then 5 years later, we're here today. And then I was like, I just wanted to talk to someone instead of swiping left or right, because that was huge. Dating apps for a long time.
Yeah, the whole dating app thing, I still honestly don't understand to this day.
It's a hookup site. It's not a dating app. You're
not
finding love.
Yeah, and it's literally based on pictures and what people say
based on
on
filters.
their
But even when you do go out with someone on a dating app, it's like you don't know them. You really don't know them, and you can go on multiple dates, but the lifestyle you don't know. You don't know the history. You don't know a lot of things. You have to get to know so much.
You see, girls have it easy mode. Like, girls, you're pretty. You can get 300. You got DMs, all the attention, right, from guys. Most of them are simps. Most of them are the guys you don't even want to talk to.
I was going to say, it's usually the wrong
guys.
Yeah.
So if you post bikini pictures, whoever it is, I always tell women you're getting a lot of attention, but the wrong attention.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the first thing I did was I opened Natalie's Instagram. It was on private. That's a win.
Yeah.
Number two.
One.
She accepted it. I looked at not one bikini picture. I was like, okay, potential to be a wife. Because when you want to have kids from a guy's perspective and a family, you don't want that history. Like, a guy values a woman's past, a woman values a guy's future, right? That's just how we are designed. That's how we act. So she was just, those are just I had to have a criteria moving forward, meeting new women, a checklist, plus my biggest criteria my dating coach gave me is you have to vet them for 1 year. You're 32. You can't have another 2-year relationship because then you're 34, right? You need to, if I want kids, that's my goal. I need to have a system in place. So I made her vet me and her for 1 year until we got serious. She was pregnant on the 12th month, right? And then we just went forward with it, right? So
vet you? That's a term for like...
you have to just get to really know them, because it's just like I said, social media, you don't know anyone. I didn't know her on the boat. I just introduced friends. I'm like, okay, she's cute. I like her. She's got her social media checks out. That's a big thing for a guy, because you could tell a lot by a woman on social media, especially guys. You have guys posting just ab pictures all the time, or snap scores like 10 million. It's like, come on, bro.
I think the Snapchat one is like a bad one. I think with social media, it is a huge thing. You can really tell
a lot,
but there are the odd cases where it's.
But if we're talking, if you're a guy, I'm a betting man. I base it on majority.
Yeah.
So I based on numbers and stats. Like 90% chance.
Sid's a bit of a unicorn.
What?
I
was just.
Sid is actually evolving a lot since I met her in the right path.
Well, no, I was just gonna say with like the whole bikini pictures and stuff. I get it. Like, I don't know.
It's just attention. That's all it is.
I think girls should obviously
for how much attention she gets, she is such a great girl.
No, that's not what I meant.
Like, so girls, not just Sid, but girls do this all the time. They post it. They're like, oh, I'm posting this for me. If you're in a relationship, that's even worse. And you're posting that shit while you're like, that means your girl just doesn't like you. She's just keeping her options open.
That's true, unless there's brand deals involved. Because then all of a sudden you get girls with
that's
bikini
less than
brand
1%,
deals.
Because a lot of girls don't have that.
That's true.
Right? Like, a lot of girls can be hot but don't have that, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking, if you like early 20s, make your mistakes, learn from it. I've made more mistakes than anyone combined here. But like, when you get older, you're, especially as a guy, like, guys age slower, girls age faster, right? That's just how God made us, right? Once a girl hits 30, like, if I was single today, I wouldn't even look at a girl past 30, because I'm just like, because 99% chance she has kids with someone else. Why is she single at 30 and she's pretty? That's a huge red flag, because there's lots of guys that are willing to wife up anyone up. Girls,
I think that right there is like a point though where I understand where you're coming from, but some girls just, I think there's something really attractive about, I'm not just saying this because like I am, but a girl who's single in her late 20s or early 30s, because like maybe it is because she couldn't find a guy or guys didn't like her or whatever, but also like I don't know, like for myself, I've chosen to be single the last 6 years because I love playing sports, I love hanging out with my friends, I love traveling, I love hanging out with my sisters, and it's like if I'm gonna even go on a date with someone, I want to see myself being with them long term, and I don't even want to waste my time.
So I can agree with you.
flings.
Guys are pathetic nowadays, so I get the dating pool is like minimal for you guys, but I'm talking from a like there's what guys ideally want. And so remember back in the day, guys would only date virgins. Like this was like normal for thousands of years. Now it's changed to girls' freedom and sexual freedom, all that stuff, whatever. So guys have had to lower their standards from, say, 60 years ago, their grandmothers were like traditional women. Now women have become less traditional, so have men. And now men have had to change their standards from virgins to, okay, I hope she's had less than 10. I hope she's had less than 20. That's even on the low side. Like most girls are like 50, 100 plus, because guys get repulsed by that. Like there's nothing, a guy gives you a ring because you are rare. A guy's status is based on his woman. You know, like when I leave the house, my woman looks good. I look good for her. Like we're a status of each other's family. If she looks like a homeless person, like that just looks bad on me, or vice versa, right? If I'm out drinking, and hanging out, guys doing blow all night, and people find that out, it's a bad look on her, right? So we don't do that to each other. We always make sure we make each other look good in optics, right? So moving forward, like men, when especially like say you're a guy that's successful. So when a guy becomes more successful, then he has options because he can dictate who he wants. Just like I said, guys date or marry who they can get. Women pick who they want to marry, right? That's just how the world is. So what, like, for example, my brother is married to a whale. It's not like he wakes up and I can't wait to fuck this. It's just all he can get, right? This is how the world is. You're attractive. You guys can dictate who you guys want to pick, right? Why do you think ugly people hook up? It's just because it's all they can get, right? That's just life. So like when a guy has more options, the reason like there's nothing bad of a 28-year-old that has taken her time. That's just her life path that is. But a guy, when he builds his life up and he wants a family, younger is better just for more kids, right? Because what Natalie just turned 30 and we're like, if I want 4 kids, like babe, Vera's just turning 2.5. Like we gotta have a kid every 2 years. So that pushes even my retirement back to 55. So it's just a timing
I feel like,
thing.
do you have like a notebook and you've like written down all these timelines and all these
we have
this like
to,
structured calendar?
We have to just based
You seem
on
very organized.
retirement and her age and fertility reasons. Because once a girl hits 30, she loses 80% of her eggs. We're actually even having troubles right now because she's turned 30. So we're on fertility drugs right now, both of us, to get pregnant. And that's just kid number 2. So you got to wait 2 more years in between just for raising kids and you know, mental space. You don't want to go too crazy. So
you could have twins.
We're hoping triplets would be perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah, twins would be awesome. But then she, if we don't have twins, then that means she's 33 when the third one comes. Like if it happens.
But you know what? Like again, nothing wrong with a 36-year-old woman having a kid.
No, I'm just talking about kids. Like I have so many guy friends on the Hawks or even actually meat missiles. Their women are substantially older than them.
Yeah, and they haven't even started having kids.
They haven't even started, like Tyler Wilson,
married, yeah.
Or like Kyle Rich. His girl is like late 30s, and they're just starting. Or the Hubers, their women started at 40. There's nothing wrong with that. It depends on your goals in life, and you can talk to any fertility doctor. Every time we go to Peace Arch, they say the worst thing a woman can do if she wants kids is to wait till past 30s because there's complications of kids. Like every kid that's kind of born past 35.
It's 100% true, but there's also life happens, right?
Oh,
like,
no,
I would have loved
yeah.
to have kids at 28.
Yeah.
I had a plan in my head and it didn't go
well,
through.
you got married,
and it is what it is. Like
at least you didn't have kids with that guy, so that's a positive. So
it's a positive. Yeah, because that's the most important piece is like who you're gonna have the kids with. And when you
that's
make
the hardest
the wrong
thing
decision, you know, it's not a wrong decision having kids, but it does suck to raise a kid on your own.
Oh, 100%. And I agree with you, women today. I'm not harping on women. Trust me. I think men are more worse today than women are because men are so pathetic today. They're so broke, so whiny, so feminine, so girly. Women, like women marry for security provisioning, like legit. Because back in the day, let's say tribal times, you were married to the strongest man or dating the strongest man so he could take care of you. Because childbirth is dangerous. You could die. All this stuff, like it just comes back to your basic genetics, right? And I get today life happens because because we're in such a different world. Bills happen, you know, work happens, college happens, partying can, like I partied for like 8 years straight and I was like a blur. And I was like, I'm more mad at myself for not having kids earlier, but I didn't meet Natalie till I was 32. It just happened. You know what I mean? And then people can make the wrong decisions and have kids with the wrong guys. Guys can have kids with the wrong girls. Like my worst fear is like, imagine I married a girl. Like for example, in our relationship, I have a written agreement with her by the lawyers that if from day one of dating, she signed the agreement or she didn't have to date me after this, I pay all the bills for the rest of our life. I'll give you the millionaire lifestyle, but I can have a mistress here and there, and you cannot break up with me about it because most married men do. And she agreed to it because most guys cheat anyways. Like every married guy I know cheats all the time.
Was she super, like, was she so down to sign the contract, or was she questioning it, or what? I've never heard of that before.
So I always say to girls always have a financial price. Why do you think women marry hockey players, movie stars, rappers, all this stuff? They know their men are not loyal sexually, right? When a guy gets more successful financially, whoever the fuck he is, the more he wants his cake and eat it too, right? So I just said, this is who I am, date number one. If you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. Just don't go on date number 2 with me. Like, I'm just being honest with you from day one because I never want to cheat on you. I'm just honest. Respect my honesty because I can show. She didn't even know guys cheated when they're married. I'm like, she was so in like a bubble. I'm like, I'll show you the world. I'll peel off that fucking veil of fucking perfection you have in your eyes, and I'll show you what men truly are. And they do. And I hate men that cheat on their wives. It drives me nuts. At least be honest with her before you do it and give her the choice to stay or leave, right? So I just said, date number 1. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. If you don't like it, please don't date me. She's like, yeah, at least you're honest. I'll give it a try. And a year later, just before she moved in, I'm like, okay, I need you to sign this paperwork that you agree to this. So you cannot leave me, take my kids, cannot take half my finances, nothing, because this is who I am moving forward. And she said, yeah, that's fine. And signed it. Right. So I paid for all the lawyers. She signed with her lawyer. I signed with mine. And I'm like, if you leave because you want to, that's fine. But we have agreement for kid visitations, 1 week on, 1 week off. You could have no access to my money. You leave with what you came in. Right. So because I didn't want to be under the gun, you know, because all guys do it. Like I did it quite a bit when first date. I don't even do it anymore because I just don't care. Like when you have a girl, when she tells you you can do it, it's like, I don't want to do it. Doesn't make any sense. It's a primal urge. I think it's disgusting that men are addicted to it. I think as I get older, and now that I have a daughter, my daughter ruined strip clubs for me. Can never go back to them again because I just sit there. I'm like, wow, this is just bad parenting. Like imagine my daughter ended up here. This is terrible. So like, having a daughter has really opened my eyes to how terrible men can be and how bad we genetically are in design. And then I have married friends that just do it all the time. Just lie to their wives. Guys trip, golfing trip. Golfing trip is, don't ever let a guy go on a golf trip.
You don't think that stems from something that they're not getting in their marriage?
No. So guys, this is the one thing women don't understand about men. Guys are genetically wired to hunt and fuck. From day one. That's just who we are. And for us to control, some guys have better control than most, for sure. I know 2 loyal guys out of 1,000. That's it. The rest all cheat. At my entire hockey team, all 3 of them, they all cheat. Every single guy does. Like the most.
You just called out your whole hockey team.
The most.
I hope the wives are watching.
Yeah, but they're the most single men are married men. That's the best quote of all time. Like guys, it doesn't matter if your girl's a perfect 10 or he's a perfect 10. You're gonna get bored either way. Where if you're 5, this is why married people stop fucking, is because it just.
Well, that's what I was asking you earlier. Like, do you think that, because I've heard that many times before. Obviously, I've never been married.
It's the honest truth.
Yeah, marriage changes things.
Yeah. So, do you think there's a way to keep that attraction, or do you think the only way is like monogamy?
No. So, for example, like my setup is like, if she has the urge to go have sex with another dude, then our agreement switches to she must pay me $6,000 on the first of every month because our bills go 50-50. So if I'm paying $12,000 a month for our cost of living, that pays all her bills, all her vacations, all her clothes, food, fucking bills across the board, then I get to have my cake and eat it too. But if
is this something you've made up, or is this like a certain thing that
this is
men
what the states do?
I've never heard of this in my life.
It's just out of fair. Like, why would I pay for a girl's bill and let her take dick from someone else? It's not anything I want to ever entertain. So if she wants to fuck someone else, that's fine. It's going to cost you $6,000 a month because that's now we're 50-50 and now we're equals. So now it's 50% bills. This is, you want to live and have 13 properties, a lake house, not work the summers, not work on holidays. You want to go to Disneyland twice a year. You want a credit card that's paid for every fucking month. I just bought you a brand new car. You have a good lifestyle. This is why women have a price. I never expect a woman to accept that those terms, dating a fucking 9-to-5 construction guy or a brokey that can never pay for anything, because that sucks for you.
No, I'm not judging. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, to me, everyone should have their own opinions, and if you find someone that wants to live the same lifestyle as you, great.
I would have never dated anyone.
I'm not judging whatsoever. I'm just curious because
I actually hated myself for cheating in the past. I hated myself for that because I saw the pain it causes them. So she was just the first honest relationship I ever dated.
Yeah, like, and if she wants to do that, then that's another, like what we were talking about earlier. Some women, they want to go out and they want to work and they want to do this, but some women would actually rather stay at home and be a housewife and not work.
There's a cost to everything. Like, I always tell women and men, treat marriage as a business transactional plus love. That's what our ancestors did, and it works. Because no matter what you fucking do, you're gonna get bored. No one's perfect. I just didn't want to be that lying piece of shit asshole and never give her the free will choice to leave. Our relationship's based on free will. You can leave at any time. I can leave at any time. There's no lawyers involved. You can just take your stuff, go leave. I'm totally at peace with it. Just, you can't move out, or I can't live 50 kilometers away from you because we have to pit the same schools with the kids. You know, we got to be able to see their kids, families both ways. Just make it free will. There's so many men that cry to me because they cannot leave their wives because it's called cheaper to keep her, right, financially. When a man signs a marriage certificate without any prenup, you have given the wife full control and dominion over your life as a man. Like, you, like in today's divorce laws, it's just how it's set up. After 2 years, if you cheat or even talk to a girl and she's not happy, like your wife's not happy, she can literally leave and take half your shit, your kids, spousal support for the rest of your life. Like, why would any man do that? Especially the divorce rate, 85%. Like, people get married all the time. Like, you have 85% chance of losing your net worth. Like, if you're rich, like, or even just a normal dude, like, you have to pay your spouse support the rest of your life while she's dating someone else. Like, as a woman, would you take that deal?
Yeah, but I don't think that's totally true.
You want to bet?
I mean, maybe at a financial level, like you're saying, like yourself, you're saying you have that financial.
Not even me, just a normal dude. Imagine being not rich and then having to pay her money. Like, you're the girl that you didn't take your ex for anything.
No.
You're the less than 1%. Most girls do. There are the unicorn women. Like, you're a good chick. My girl says she's a good chick, but
isn't there a standard of duration that you're married or common law
and stuff,
right? And then there's also if you have any assets together or kids together, there's so many factors, and then obviously going to court, that's a whole nother financial
we set up
thing to go through.
So we have a cohabitation agreement with a prenup. So ours is Schedule A, Schedule B's. Is every year we have to fill out our new assets under management, my corporations, and all that stuff. She literally doesn't have anything because she's never bought anything in her life. I've always bought it for her. But I do have a rule in my life. After like 10, 20 years, if you are not happy with me, I will give you 50% of everything. Because I believe if a woman actually, because if she's going to have 4 of my kids and she's literally staying home with no career, and we did break up and she's like 50 or 60, I don't expect her to fucking go work as a bum. I just don't agree. After 2 years, women shouldn't be able to take half your shit. But after she literally sacrificed her career, and I'm an honorable guy, if she literally sacrificed your career and you really just don't like me anymore, then yeah, you'll get half my shit. I'll take care of you financially.
I actually think that's fair.
It's honorable, yeah.
The thing is that, like, she is raising your kids. She, mother these days, a full-time mom is a full-time job, if not more.
It's the number one thing that any woman can do.
Of course. And again, a lot of women would rather, obviously, if they're having kids, stay at home and raise their kids. Like, if I had kids, I'd rather raise them. I don't want
8 hours and raising kids. It's not a thing.
Well, no, but also I don't want someone else raising my kids. If I'm going to raise my kids, I want the memories and stuff. So
like, that's why I think the divorce law should be changed to 20 years. Like, if you are literally 20 years of raising kids and you did have to stay home to raise the kids, you should, doesn't matter if you have a prenup or cohabitation agreement, you should easily get 50% of the net worth. That should be a rule, because then it gives incentive for men and women to stay together longer, because now the rule is 2 years. Like imagine I dated you and I just come into you're worth millions of dollars. I just come into on the 25th month, Alex, I'm not happy with you anymore, but give me half your shit. I'm going to take you to court. How is that fair? That's not fair to anyone. That's not fair. No. 2 years is nothing. That's 2 years of just getting to know somebody. Yeah. Right? Even like my cousin just went through a common law divorce. They weren't even married. And she got half of fucking everything.
That's scary and that's crazy. And
yeah,
I remember
there's a lot of girls out there that know this and they'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know who changed the laws to 2 years, but a lot of people thought it was 6 months. But then when I hired a marriage lawyer, I was like, no, it's actually 2 years. It's 25th month of them living with you.
Yeah.
This is why
as soon as they live in with you, as soon as they have your address on all their information.
As soon as they can prove it, And then I was always tell the boys, I'm like, this is why a lot of guys don't want to, they don't take dating seriously anymore. They don't want to move you in anymore just because they're scared of seeing they saw their dads get cleaned out, or the women saw their mothers get cleaned up by the dads or lose their dads. Like it goes both sides, and we're both guilty of it. Like we both do dumb shit. Like it's terrifying.
That's super sketchy.
And like I always tell my wife, like, I don't want to go make millions of dollars a year and knowing that 50% there's a gun to my fucking head that I have to give it to you. I don't want to live in fear the rest of my life. I'd rather just live with no fear. I'm never going to leave her ever. We have kids. I'm very traditional. I will never leave her. It would be her leaving me, if anything. Like, that's my prediction. If she ever want to. And I wouldn't even get mad. If she sat down, she's like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, okay, see you later. Like, I'm very easygoing because I have a weird superpower. I'm not scared to lose anyone except for my kids.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think that's a superpower. I mean, well, I guess it's different if you're like truly in love. It's easy for me to say because I'm not.
No. The true love means if you truly love someone. Like, I practice this because I used to be obsessed with girls and it drove me fucking nuts. Like, you meet a guy, you're obsessed with them, drives you nuts what they do,
you
eat,
have
breathe,
ADHD
sleep.
or something?
Exactly. You do have ADHD. But when you really love someone and you set them free and they come back, that's true love.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. But I just mean in the way that, I don't know. I'm kind of like the same where I would be obviously a lot more scared to lose kids or lose like my sisters than lose a partner, if that makes sense. Because if they don't love you, then why are you even with them?
Yeah, exactly. No, I love her no matter what. Like, she's the baby mother. Like, I'll see her the rest of my life. Doesn't matter what happens. If she had sex with another guy, I'd be like, yeah, I just told her, like, if you had sex with another guy, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, okay, bills are 50-50, or if you can't afford it, you must find your own accommodations. You have 30 days. Like, and I'm very, like, straightforward. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I stick to my rules. I knew what I had to get dating you. Like, when a man marries any woman, doesn't matter who she is, he's giving up his freedom, personal time. Like, the guys love banging chicks, like just who we are. And when he commits to the one that he wants to have kids with, he has to work, provide. This is what a real man guy does. He works and provides. That's his number one duty. When she's pregnant, staying home with kids, like, he will work 60 hours a week if he has to, just to make sure there's a roof over his head, right? Just because it's his duty as a man to do that, right? That's what men should do anyways. So if I'm doing my obligations to you and you can't uphold yours, or vice versa, who faults first, you can't really get mad about it, because it just is what it is. Yeah. You're not gonna sit here and fight in front of the kid 30 hours a day. So
yeah, I don't know. I've honestly never put that much thought into something like this before. I'm just like, if I click with someone, I click with them, and if I don't, I don't.
You have to as you get older, because when you hit your 30s and 40s, you're starting to enter territory where you if you make mistakes, they last a lifetime. 20s, you can make a lot of mistakes, and you can bounce back pretty close. But when you hit 30s and 40s and 50s, like, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Obviously 50s are really pushing it.
Yeah,
hopefully you have it figured out by then. But
I think it's more wild, like, when people are married and they break up in their like 50s and 60s.
That sucks.
That's like, I have a
and then you're really alone.
Bogdan's parents just did it, of our hockey team, and they're fucking married 30 years. I'm like, what? Like, I always tell Natalie, I'm like, you can break up with me in the next 10 years, that's fine, but don't wait till I'm 50 or 60 or 70, 80.
No,
I'm gonna be alone. All my friends are dead or gone. Like, I am alone, like, truly alone.
Well, that's when, like, having kids is clutch, because then at least you can hang out with your kids.
Yeah. Your kids kind of come back around. And
this is why you need to have kids.
No, I said I'm gonna be a great aunt. There's gonna be 6 nieces or nephews running around.
Your kids cater to your sisters first, not to you.
Brother, me and my aunt are like this. Honestly, we are besties.
Sid, you've been single for so long. Actually, you probably had the world record for the longest girl I've ever met single.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that I ever met. Yeah, usually girls like dating.
What did I say, 2016?
Yeah.
I've been like actually single for. I've had a couple flings, but nothing.
Was your last relationship really bad or something?
No, the guy was actually great. He was really nice. Really, on textbook, he was probably a perfect guy for a lot of girls, but just not for me. Yeah.
How old were you?
I think maybe I was 21 when we broke up, and he was 25.
Oh, you're such a baby, though.
Oh, the one that was on for the show?
No.
Okay. Okay, but would you count? What about the relationship on the show?
Okay, that doesn't count. That was like a show thing.
Oh, is that a called situationship?
Pardon?
Is it called a situationship? Is
It was called a reality show. And
Oh
that's
no,
it.
but your relationship
like
with
the
the guy.
relationship on the show. No, that was like, how long was that? Not that long.
That was like a couple dates. Like that wasn't a relationship.
Oh, okay.
That was
just dates. They made it look like one.
Yeah, no, it
What
was
reality show were you on?
X on the Beach.
X on the Beach. It sounds familiar. Where
It
was
was
that
on
played?
MTV.
Oh, MTV.
Yeah.
X on the Beach.
Yeah.
Maybe. This is a
Yeah.
while ago.
It was in 2019, I guess.
Oh yeah, so quite a while
Yeah,
ago.
I got broken up with in a hot tub on
Oh.
television. It all went downhill from there.
You got broken up with a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah. Yep. Then now we're here. 6, 7, I don't know what year is it, 2024? That was in
Actually,
2019.
The
so
best time I liked before pre-baby was I was single for 5 years once.
okay, yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I did everything I wanted.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is like I said, I've had a couple of flings and nothing that I've been super interested in. I'm really good by
we're very
myself.
opposite.
Actually,
I've only been single for like maybe 6 months.
Yeah, but you met like I met
Like,
I was
I
dating
dated someone in high school.
Yeah.
Not even. I didn't date in
Yeah.
I didn't have a boyfriend in high school. Except for
I
grade
just
12.
got out of a 3-year
end.
relationship and the cops removed her out of my house with
Oh,
charges.
Yeah.
And I met the one 2 months later.
Oh,
And
yeah.
met her on the boat and I was like, I don't want to date at all.
Yeah.
Like I need to be single, get back to just me
Mm-hmm.
and like go through court and win, and then I did win. And then for the first year I can like, she wanted me to post pictures on social media, like I can't, I'm in court against this chick, like I had to prove her wrong. I won in court, everything went fine, but for an entire year I hated chicks. Like I
Yeah.
just didn't want to date, I just wanted to be by myself. But then you met the fucking one,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Sometimes they come
Fuck.
along and
like what do I do
if
here,
you know,
God?
then yeah.
Actually I kind of like meditated towards the universe. I'm like, if this is meant to be after 12 months, like give me a fucking sign.
And you got pregnant.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Well, that's the thing, is the universe, it will give you signs if you ask. So you just you have to be aware.
You know what's wild, girls? Is she was the first nice girl I ever dated,
Mhm.
and I had to have therapy sessions because she was too nice to me.
Yeah, you thought
I
it
would
was
sit down with my mom
lie.
because my mom married a nice person, like
Yeah.
the first nice. She always dated biker bad boys, and then dated the nice geeky guy,
Mhm.
the good guy. And she took 2 years to fall in love with him.
Yeah.
because it was just too nice.
Yeah.
And then she was the first nice girl that treated me nice,
Mhm.
took me out, like bought me dinner,
Mhm.
like. What the fuck? I've never had a girl buy me dinner, bought me a birthday present. What
Yeah.
the fuck is that? Usually girls are
Clearly
getting
you were
broke.
dating really shitty girls
Oh,
then.
I just dated hot strippers, pretty much. That was it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this girl's too nice to me. I need some flair. I need some chaos. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But now it's the best decision I ever made.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the thing, is, I mean, see it too a lot when you're younger. I have so many guy friends now where they're like, where do I find your friends? Where do I find your friends? And my friends will come out with me, and guys are like, where have these girls been hiding? And I'm like, fucking Maple Ridge. They're all really nice girls.
Actually,
and now,
Maple Ridge has some nice girls. Yeah.
oh, they do. There's,
yeah.
I've been told that Maple Ridge has sneaky hot girls.
And Chilliwack.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, it's
yeah.
honestly. And it's one of those things where, yeah, you're not meeting these girls downtown at the bar partying and stuff. They're hiding.
Yeah.
They're out in the fucking boonies,
They're the
walking their
suburb girls,
dogs,
yeah.
chilling.
Yeah.
And
They're
yeah.
the camping girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's where I mine's from Chilliwack. I always said I was going to marry a Chilliwack girl because they're the most wholesome, nice
Yeah,
farm
you got to
girls.
just find girls outside the city and you're set. And that's
Yeah.
another thing too, is a lot of guys are like, oh, all these girls, they're all such hoes, they have all these notches, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, you're looking at girls on dating apps and social media. The girls that you want to be with, you're not going to find them there. You're
Yeah.
going to find them at fucking Home Depot.
Yeah, I always say, like, when I was
Doing
single,
their own
I'd
projects.
roll,
Dog park.
yeah,
Yeah.
dog park's a good one. I'd roll
Mhm.
with the boys downtown just for a night, and we'd to even crack a girl's roster. Like when we went to the Halloween thing together a while back, she has that guy on the go that drove from Langley to come pick you guys up and drive back the simp,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So today's world, you can talk to a 10. She's got 10 guys on the go. This is a guy's perspective from dating a girl nowadays. She's got 10 guys on the go, as she should. She has so many social media, so many guys that will message her. She has a guy that will pick her up at 3 a.m, a guy that will fuck her good, a guy that will take her shopping, just a guy for food, dinner dates.
See, but that's like, honestly, I'm not even going to speak on that. I was going to say that's not like, I don't know what this girl's morals are, but
No, but like that's our perspective of like girls nowadays. So trying to crack that roster
Yeah.
Right.
to even get in. So if I know a girl has a guy that she's gonna call at 2 a.m. and just have sex with him, but I have to take her out for fucking dinner dates and then pay for dinner dates and maybe sleep with her 4 dates or maybe crack her fucking roster of interests. And then if I try to tell her no, like don't treat me bad, or like she tries to have bad behavior, like
And
disrespect
then they just
you,
don't even talk
they're like,
to you
oh,
back.
I don't have to talk to you anymore
Yeah.
because this guy will
Ghost.
fucking act however he'll be with me no matter what.
But that just sounds like a girl who doesn't have any passions, any interests, nothing better to do.
Outside of your guys' group of girls, and you guys do have a good group of girls, this is the average woman nowadays.
And do you know what? And I know because I was working downtown in nightlife for a bit, and these girls have so many guys on the go. And do you know what? What their upbringing is there's no sports involved. There's no big family events. There's nothing. It's all about looking good, makeup, clothes, hanging out with the boys, partying in high school. And that's how they grow up. And it's like they don't have any other passions. They don't know what it's like to be driven and to have other things going on. Like, or
also extreme feminism nowadays is like toxic. Like there's like women rights. I agree with that for sure. Because if you talk to people like they're 80 years old and you talk about what women rights were really like, it's like demonic shit. But like nowadays women have taken it so fucking far. Like guys at the gym, like why is a girl in booty shorts with no underwear on and a bikini top doing squats in a guy section, and if I glance at her, she takes a picture and posts it all over TikTok. Like it's like guys are actually kind of like terrified of women now because we can get fake charges. Like I had fake charges and I won. It cost me $10,000 in lawyer fees to win. Nothing happened to her. I proved her because I videotaped everything in my house at the time, and then I showed the court she lied. Nothing happened to her. So, and fake rape charges, fake anything. If you don't agree with anything a girl says, she can post you on this website. It's called Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Like I was posting on that 3 times recently from things 6 years ago. My wife's like, oh, you're on there again. I'm like, because they know I'm married with kids, and women love to destroy families. Well, they just love it.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Is these girls? They don't have anything else. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe they have too much time on
them in other areas.
Yeah. What is it? Kate, from your girl, what is a true fulfillment? Like actually true non-biased fulfillment. What is it?
Like I take my dog for a walk every night at 9 p.m. with my best friend. And
that's what you enjoy, but what's fulfillment, enjoyment is two different things. Fulfillment is like actual purpose, and like you're not empty inside. Like that.
Fulfillment to me is being able to serve the other person.
You nailed it on the head. Yeah.
To be in partnership with someone and do life with them. That's like 100%. That is fulfillment to me.
Natalie is like, I serve her as in like I provide and protect and make sure she never has to worry about money or bills. That's me serving us. She serves us in her own way, how she can do it. And it's like marriage is I
selfless.
Serve her. Like I don't care about my happiness. She cares about my happiness. I care about her happiness. You know, like I see her looks on her face. I'm like, what's wrong, babe? Like, what do you need? Like, because I can read her. Like she's like, well, this, I'm kind of like, I need this. I'm like, well, just ask me, whatever you want, credit card, here you go, just take it. That's me providing. That's how men actually show their love, is through provisioning. I'm not going to sit there and be like, you know, and protection. Like I'll take a bullet for her. Like if anyone gets cancer in the family, it's me, not anyone else. Cause I'll take it for the team. Right. I'll die first. I'll jump in front of the train. Like, cause that's what a man does. And then like, women, like that's how, like women like, oh, I wish you were more nice or more cuddly. I'm like, that's a woman's love. A man's love is like, I'm getting up at 6 a.m, even though I don't want to, in the cold and rain, and I'm gonna go work to pay for the bills, pay for their credit card, whatever you want, honey. That's how men actually do show true love, right? Yes, it is nice I do cuddle or give her kisses because it's good to show love in front of the kid. You know what I mean? But it does die off.
Yes and no. I mean, I do believe it also depends on the person. Like obviously there's different love languages and stuff and how.
Yeah, you have to learn about each other. Yeah. You have to learn what they need to be, how they need to be loved, but they have to learn how you need to be loved.
You are very fucking intelligent.
She's
why we're good friends.
Yeah, she's really intelligent. She's really good.
You get it, man. You get it.
I mean, obviously, I've been through being married and being divorced, and yeah, you don't take that lightly. Yeah. I married someone, and I wanted to be married, and I thought that we would stay married. Like it's not something that I wanted to be divorced. You don't get married to think I'm going to be divorced. But at the end of the day, like whatever we were doing in our marriage wasn't working. And we didn't get to that core of how does this person need to be loved?
Yeah, why did you get married then in the first place? Just because you're young?
No.
How old are you anyways? Like 22 or something?
23.
23, yeah.
But you're 23 when you got married.
Okay. Yeah.
The worst thing I ever hear women and men saying, actually it's mostly women say this, it's my first marriage. Like I literally hear girls say that before they get married.
Yeah, because that's kind of like, it's my first.
Like in my mind, marriage divorce. We have a rule in the house. We don't use the D word, divorce.
No,
I don't matter
you
how mad you
can't
get
do
at me.
that.
You never fucking say that word, right? And I learned this through my mom's therapist because she used to fucking run her mouth all the time. Mom's an ultimate feminist, fucking loser. She had to.
So your mom's an ultimate feminist.
She was. And then
this is interesting to me because you, I feel like, are opposite of a feminist.
Because I hate what feminism has done to the family unit.
Okay.
And because I believe in family traditional values.
Yeah.
I do agree with women's rights totally, but I also agree if women want true equality, that's a double-edged sword. That means 50% of everything, bills, all this stuff. Like if true equality means equality on all of us, means if there's a draft in the military, World War III, you guys are going front lines too. Let's go. Like it's everything. It wouldn't work. We have blue jobs and pink jobs. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm different than you. I'm stronger than you.
We're wired differently.
Yeah, you guys are caretakers. Like how she treats Vera versus how I treat Vera. She's the nurturer, caretaker. I'm Mr. Discipline and authority, and because we need structure and discipline. We both sexes do. Like I always say, daughters need their dads and moms. Like single parent households, guy or girl, doesn't matter who it is. It's terrible. Like you need to have a 2-parent household, mommy and daddy. We all wish, like all my friends were raised in divorced families. We all wish that mommy and daddy were still together. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like we have to have some duty and moral responsibility. Today, now people get married and like, oh, I'm not happy anymore. Marriage is not happiness. Marriage can be happiness if you work hard enough for it on both sides of it. Like how you said,
is work.
It's work. Like
and if you're not willing to put in the work, and that's where people fail. And we're weak too. And people are weak. They don't want to fight for things. Unfortunately,
because they're one swipe away from finding someone else.
Manhood too, I think, and at least in my situation, I didn't know the value of what I needed to do and be as a wife, and I tore him down, and I don't think I built him up, and that was part of why he wasn't able to be the man that I needed. You both need to have this role to play, and I wasn't playing the role I needed to play to build him up, and he wasn't playing the role to be a man and fight for the marriage.
It's also because men take a lot more time to develop than girls do.
Yeah.
Like mentally, I always tell men, I'd always, like if I had advice for my daughter dating, I'd be like, two things. Date someone like your dad, how he treats you. Like I always tell other girl dads this.
Isn't that when girls end up with daddy issues though?
So
or bad guys if they have daddy issues.
Exactly. So a lot of my boys are girl dads, and we're gonna write a book in 20 years called My Parenting versus Yours, and we're gonna do a study. So I think men and women are raised completely different. Women should be catered to and taken care of like princesses, because if you do that, then she's gonna want to date a guy that like her dad, like treats her good, right? And how a girl should know her worth and like raise her value, keep her value, and then only let men date her that is worth her time.
I was not raised that way. I was raised to like work 2 jobs and cut lumber.
Yeah. So son, like my daughter has the option of staying home bill free until she's married.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll pay for her cars, everything, because I want her to find. I don't want her. My worst fear is she brings home a G unit, some broke loser in my house that treats her like shit. And like, because I always see like, what's the most common trait? Like, why do women date like just guys that treat them like shit, like all the time? Then you say the most common trait is their moms are divorced and they date men that treat them like shit. So their moms, they kind of like copy their moms, right? If I had a son, he'd be out of the house at 18. Mm-hmm. He'd be working 3 jobs. He would be working hard because he's got to learn to build himself up. A guy's prime is not even until like mid 30s to 50s financially. Then because mentally, yeah, because men age slower than women, and men take a lot more time to develop than women do. Women are like more mature at 22 and 23 than a 35-year-old man, especially in today's standards. Like men today are like Peter Pan syndrome. Like they're just still, I have guy friends that are 42 and still partying and banging 20-year-olds, like just nowhere near optimal lifestyle. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna live like, you're gonna be like 50 soon, bro, and like what are you gonna be doing? Like it's eventually it dies off. You're gonna be too old to go to the club and shit like that, right? Like Peter Pan syndrome. But like women like need to be treated like queens from day one. And I promise you, my daughter growing up will only date guys that will treat her good because daddy treated her good.
I feel like I think I'm like listening to you guys, and I think I'm the wrong person to answer these questions. I think it's
because you're the other perspective. You're the other perspective.
Well, yeah, but also just because, like, to me, like, even the way you guys are talking about marriage and what you need to put in and what you need to get out, and like all the highs and the lows. It seems to me, it just seems exhausting, and I'm
because
like,
you know what?
wouldn't you just
She
rather be by
fucking
yourself?
is turn 30 and she gets it.
Yeah.
I got it at 32. I got it at 33.
Yeah.
I just got it.
So do you think this is like a personality thing, or do you think I'm eventually going to get it, or
You-
I just have a certain mindset and I'm
At,
like,
at
I'd rather
your
just
age,
be by myself?
at your age, I would kick my own. If I
But
could
I
go
feel
back
like
to, I'd
we're
kick my
only
own
2 years
ass.
apart, though.
Yeah,
She's a lot
it's
more
hard.
emotionally
It's
like,
hard to
Well, because
see
she
it.
actually
mature
met,
than me.
but she also, but this is the thing. Like, I met a woman that's worth it.
yeah.
She finally met a guy that's fucking worth her
Yeah.
time. Like it just happens when you meet the one that you. There's no such thing as the one. There's the
Yeah.
one that you can make it really work with.
Yeah.
And then
But I
it's
don't want to
worth
make
your time.
anything work. I don't want to make anything work. I want it to just like, it's either going to work or I don't want it. Like, you
Well-
know what I mean? Just want flow. I just want someone
But like,
chill.
Let-
what
I'll
about
talk to you when you're
seeing
30 and
The
we'll talk.
relationship of what about seeing your sister's relationship and how that emerged? Like,
Oh,
does
well-
that not inspire you?
Well,
or
they're great
you know,
together, and I think their
give you
relationship.
hope?
But like,
Andre's a good guy.
no, I think they're great together, and I love that they're together. But I don't want to really like. I don't want to.
Yeah, you're so.
I don't know.
Honestly, this is like talking.
I
You're,
don't
you're,
know.
like honestly, when women and men age,
Yeah.
this is a biologically fact. Our chemistry changes.
Yeah.
When a woman hits 30, you have your brain and your body's like, okay, this is a human instinct thing.
Yeah.
I have X amount of time left to get pregnant. So
Mm-hmm.
I must change. Hormones change, imbalances change in a woman's mind. And then they're like, okay, this is why when a woman hits 30, they hit the wall and they really want to like settle down and have kids. It's just a biology thing. Some girls skip it and don't want it and just want something different, but
Okay.
the majority of them do.
July 14th, 2026. I will be 30 and one day. I will come back here and we will talk about this again
Yeah, we
because
will,
I
yeah.
just can't see it unless there is someone out there that's really going to change my mind. But
Actually, I
I-
think it's what Alex is trying to say and what I'm trying to say is like when you do meet the one that you
Yeah.
really do like, you will do whatever it takes to make it work.
I just don't see.
Because I always ask Natalie, I'm like, why? Like before Natalie, I was a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Like I treat women like shit.
Yeah.
I make good money, but that was the only thing I did. I was fat. I was disgusting. I treated women like shit. I slept with too many girls. And then I always said, and in my perspective, she's a fucking unicorn.
Yeah.
And I always say to her, even yesterday we had this conversation, I'm like, why me? Like, why do I get such a good, loyal girl, apparently? Why do I get you versus I know a handful of guys that are way better than I am? And she's like, because I became my best version as soon as I met her. As soon as I met her, my life is just getting like 20x better.
Yeah.
Like so now that it's 20x better, like everything's better. I have my kids, like everything I ever wanted. Now I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make it work, even if it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I will do whatever it takes to make it work because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
I don't want to go 50 pounds heavier. I don't want to be a fucking loser ever again because
Yeah.
it's a lot of work being successful on relationships, business, mental clarity, anything. It's a lot of work. This is the difference between.
I think maybe also another thing is that I already feel like I love myself so much and I love my life and I feel so fulfilled already that it's, to me, unless someone's going to come in and make it so much better, like it's already so smooth, it's so great. I'm
also like, actually you said the most
I think
key thing.
that's
You have to love
huge.
yourself first.
I love myself.
I think
wouldn't.
you're in the perfect space.
No, well, that's the thing is that I like myself the most I've ever liked myself. I like my life
I
so
think
much
you're
right
at the
now.
cusp because when I met the dating coach, he said the same thing. So he's like, the only reason you're tracking these terrible women is because you are terrible.
Yeah.
So once you change yourself, so I started changing myself better, got all the weight off,
Mm-hmm.
change yourself for the better, and then I met the better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's called law of attraction. It's literally we're energetic beings. We attract law of attraction.
You will find somebody that is your better half.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that you're not good and you're not satisfied with yourself, because
Yeah.
you 100% are, but you will find someone that complements you even more.
Yeah.
Like, they're just gonna bring your up.
Yeah.
It's
You're
called
just
it's
gonna
called the wow
build you up.
factor.
They're gonna
You get a wow
be
factor,
that person that all of a sudden you're just glowing.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like, it's just, I think also what's gone on in these 6 years of just whatever. And I've had, like I said, I've had a few flings, so it hasn't been completely,
Yeah, but you just haven't met the real one yet. Like, just I always tell Natalie, like, I couldn't even imagine being single today.
yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to fucking do. Like, go up to the girl and say, "Hey, this used to be a bank." Like, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, I have it so good here. And when you make a home, like you guys are on your verge about getting your own home. When you guys make a home, it's like our biggest kind of like combatants in our 2 couches there. Hey, go out with the girls tonight. I say, hey, go have fun. Go clubbing tonight. Go twerk for some free drinks. Like, go have some fun. She'll say go have fun with the boys. Go drinking. That sounds like, when you get it good, it sounds like fucking hell. Going out downtown, drinking, whatever it is that you do for fun. I'd rather stay home, popcorn, movie on TV. My kids are laughing. She's good. I'm in sweatpants and a hoodie.
But I also enjoy that more, and I also do that, but like just in a single kind of way.
Do you live at home still?
Yeah.
That's
well, not with like my dad. I live with my 2 sisters. We all have a house
So
together.
when you eventually have to move out one day, and I'm not sure what your cost of living, it's X amount of dollars, whatever it is. When you get, right now you're still living at home, it's pretty much on easy mode, right, for most people. But when you get to real world, like real hardcore truth, and you're paying like $3,000 a month in rent, whatever it is, plus cars, all this stuff, food and that stuff.
Well, no, like I am doing
it gets
that.
hard.
Like it's just that my 2 sisters live with me. Like we have our own house, and like I pay. And
But
I
they're
have
eventually
bills,
going to move out if Andre and them have kids. Like eventually it's going to end.
They need to get out, and I'll have more space for myself.
But then bills come 100% your responsibility, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, not cost of living, but eventually it's just like, it gets a lot.
Yeah.
And then just like someone compliments it. Like you guys are looking for your house together, that's the next step. And I always kind of bug him, like, bro, once you move her in, she ain't leaving.
Yeah.
Like just prepare for that. Like the one thing I wish I did differently is I moved her in with 6 months of meeting her. And I watched this movie called How to Be Single.
Yeah.
It's a good movie to watch. And you eventually, it's just be single. Like you're perfect. You're single right now, but eventually you're going to meet the one and have kids and a mortgage. Once that is in, that's it.
I don't know. Well, no, like
Locked
I already have, like I said, I have property. I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't know
a big
the
step
kids.
when you do move in with someone.
That's
but
it.
some people do it out of like financial stability too, and that's also a scary thing. But yeah,
that's the scariest thing for
would
guys.
say,
I tell guys to get their money up before you meet the one, so you don't have to make desperate decisions of financial security. Because a lot of people just are married because they can't break up like 4 bills on their own.
See, to me that sounds
that's
like
hell.
Like the worst situation possible.
They call it cheaper to keep her. Like buddy, like I have 4 married men that are clinically depressed.
Yeah.
Because she fucked some other dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't even divorce her or break up with her because I'll lose my kids. I'll lose my house.
See.
I can't pay her out.
And that's what I was saying earlier. To me, marriage sounds like a scam.
It is in today's
like a horrible scam.
You know what? It is today's world because there's no accountability.
Yeah.
And so I read, because I'm in real estate, so I watched divorces, real estate sales through the board, and I was like, you fuck girls. I'm never getting married. I'm never moving a chicken. It's the dumbest thing. Never putting a girl on title. That's the worst thing to do, is put her on legal title of anything you own, because then she has to fucking sign it under good faith.
Yeah.
So anyways, so that's why you asked, I got these agreements signed up for a fucking reason, not just for the one thing I could bang a girl in once in a blue moon. It's the financial aspect of being like, if I break up with you, I lose everything.
Yeah.
Like financially, what's the point of me? I always tell her, if you want me to be completely loyal to you and this fucking beta male simp, we're living in a basement suite, cutting out coupons, taking a bus everywhere, and that is it. We'll live the basic lifestyle. If you want everything everything you ever wanted, materialistic wise, then if you want me to work my ass off and intelligent wise, like, and get us there, I don't want to know that you could take 50% of everything.
But wouldn't you rather just be with someone then and not marry them? Like, to me, an ideal situation would be meeting someone and then
we're
just
technically not married.
Being with
not
them.
technically married, no.
Okay.
No, I just call her my wife.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know, because
I don't think I'd ever actually get paperwork married.
Yeah, to me, like, a really good ideal thing would be meeting someone, you don't live with them, you stay with each other once in a while.
I think the ideal, because if you really like someone, like, if I always tell Natalie, if the government wasn't involved, I didn't have to sign any paperwork, I'd throw a ceremony. Like, I'd get the wedding, because I think the wedding thing is cool. Give a girl her white dress, because every woman dreams about a marriage or
Wouldn't
a
you rather
wedding.
go on a big expensive honeymoon though? That's another thing that I'm into, is that I don't think I would get a really big or have a big expensive
I bought her
wedding.
this house. I paid $300,000 down
I guess,
payment,
okay, you know, if you have the money, it's
properties.
different. Yeah.
To me, traveling or buying the big diamond ring is such a waste of money. I'd rather invest that money and make millions of dollars so we can retire at 40.
Yeah,
What's more important?
that's true.
Not working past 40 or working till I'm 75?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do the whole shebang wedding.
I think it's the dumbest thing you could do. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still open to marriage again, but I wouldn't do the financial side of it.
Yeah, like
I
the
wouldn't
worst thing you could do is have joint bank accounts. We have separate bank accounts. We have a family card. She gets, I call it the gold card. It's unlimited. Spend whatever you want. I'll pay it every month. She has it. It's under my name. But nothing else is shared.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck about her paychecks. Do whatever you want with it. She bought us Disneyland because she wanted to. Like, that's just what she wanted to do. Like, joint bank accounts, like changing legal last names. Like, her last name is not even mine.
Yeah.
But she wants it so bad because she wants the same last name of her daughter. I'm like, hey, you can go down to the office and change it, but we don't need a wedding. I'm like, why do you want a wedding?
I think weddings are so overrated.
Because it is monkey see, monkey do. She's on Instagram scrolling. This girl got married. It's a competition. Who has the better wedding? Who has the nicer dress? It's all it is. And I called her out on it. I'm like, you only want to get married because your last 2 years we've been invited to all these weddings. I hate being invited to weddings now because she just looks at me and was like, oh my God, this is the dumbest financial decision anyone can make, is getting married. Get your money up first. You know, I always tell her, I'm like, if you're with me still 10, 20 years, then yeah, I'll throw you a fucking wedding because you made it with me. And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Round of applause. You made it with me, baby. Here's your wedding.
Well, like in the States, they're trying to actively push for this new marriage law that every 5 years you have a renewal or just dismissed. Yeah. Because people nowadays, they want to kind of like, because you really don't know someone until you're broken up with them. You really don't know someone until you're married 5-10 years, because people do change. A guy won't, like, the worst thing that guys hate the most is she got pregnant and she got fat and she doesn't lose it. And then he's like, I can't break up with her or tell her to lose weight because she'll lose everything. Guys don't like fat chicks. It's the truth.
I know you brought up the fat word quite a few times this podcast.
Guys, like in my
call
house, we have,
like they
not
call
a
it
fan.
like something like the bounce back. They're like, oh man.
So in my house, we have mandatory gym requirements. Like,
holy shit.
No, hey, no. Hers is twice a week.
I want to see your contract.
No. Hers is because but like it works because she was into fitness already.
Okay.
And I got into fitness, and I'm just like, just hear me out. It's not as bad as you think it is.
No, I'm just.
She has to work out twice a week. That is it. I work out 5 days a week plus hockey 3 to 4 times a week. That's I keep myself on a higher standard because there's nothing. If I'm trying to be fit, because she wants me to have a 6-pack, and I'm like, that's fine, but you need to not eat bad in front of me. Just if you want to eat bad, just go do it with your friends or not outside the household, because I'm a food addict, right? But I need you to see you in the gym at least twice a week. So if you're not in the gym, it makes me lazy and I don't want to go to the gym. Then you rub off on me and then I fall off and then I'm like gain 50 pounds. Then it's not attractive for you. I'm trying to be hot for you. You know what you want. So please, and then plus I met you fit. Stay fit. Plus, she's a good eater. Like she was into personal trainer when I first met her. She's like you. She works out all the time. She works out a lot. And then she hiked all the time. She's a perfect eater before I even met her. Yeah. So kind of like when I was vetting her for a year, I'm like, oh, she doesn't eat fast food. That's a bonus. Yeah. Because I love fast food. I don't want to eat fast food anymore. Yeah. So now
I understand what you mean by like it helps you personally.
Yeah, it's helping me to stay like on the right discipline. That's the best way of saying it. Yeah, there's nothing worse than like you're trying to go work and pay the bills and your wife's just sitting at home eating cupcakes, getting fat, only wear sweatpants and a sweater the rest of her life and hair in a bun. But like, that's the worst.
That's the thing where
that's why guys cheat, actually.
No, I know, but like
and that's where we need to fix that too, and know that, hey, like, what do they want to come home to? Think about what they want to come home to, and making that home like something that they look forward to.
Yeah,
but I just like don't think we should even look at it that way. I think it's just we should do things for ourselves. We should be healthy for ourselves.
Married,
we should
not about myself anymore. Myself is about her.
About the other person.
And Andrew Tate said a very good compliment. He's like, a guy will never leave you if you bring him the number one thing he wants most is peace. Not even sex. Peace and quiet.
Yeah.
He will never leave you over that. 90% of the time, girls are initiate a divorce first in North America. It's girls leaving guys. That's it. And then guys are more romantic. They actually want families, and a guy will sacrifice their happiness for their family, but a girl will sacrifice their family for their happiness. That's a true fact. Yeah. A girl will break up a home because she's literally just not happy anymore because she dated a loser or whatever it is. Or her feminist friend's like, oh, you can do better. But then you have kids involved. What about the kids' happiness, right? Because girls just care about their own happiness, right? Like just the majority of them, not you girls. I'm just saying the majority of women are like that nowadays. So like when you first meet somebody, just vet them.
I think
people lay the law down.
They just need to meet girls from the Fraser Valley. That will solve all the problems.
Yeah. Or
release them. Go to Chilliwack.
Yeah.
Langley.
Yeah.
And hope if you have to.
I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon.
You don't think so?
Like, I think the younger dads, like my generation, they're starting to raise their kids more traditional because they see how bad the outcomes of, like, my wife works K-5 and she sees the broken home syndrome. Like, their kids are just terrible. Just no discipline, outspoken, rude, just chaotic. Then you see the kid that's raised by a 2-parent household, totally normal kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I've gotten out of this a lot is I just still think marriage is a scam.
I agree with you. I think it's a financial scam, but both parties. It can go both ways. Like I've known girls that got cleaned up by guys because they made $1 less per year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about who makes the majority amount of money.
The breadwinners.
Yeah.
Breadwinners don't end up winning.
And the weird thing is the common law thing. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to be married anymore.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't even know when that started, but that's apparently a thing now.
That's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah. I wasn't even aware. My exes have never, thank God, taken me for anything because I don't think they're aware of it. But yeah. Yeah, and we're back, and
we're busy, and we have more gossip for you.
And I'm pansexual.
And Joel's pansexual, and so this is what we're going to be talking about from now on. 2024, if you're not gay, you're lying, right?
No, like, because, like, actually, I'll give you a true, honest story. So, in my early 20s...
I can never tell when people are...
Yeah.
I'm very bad at... I have a zero
I'm not gay.
gaydar. That's what it is. I never know.
No, I know.
But I actually hooked up with a guy
with girls.
in the past because I thought I was gay. Because every time I saw a hot guy...
Is this a reason you wanted an open relationship?
No. This is like cocaine days. So when I was early 20s, I always was attracted to really hot guys. I was like, fuck, he's hot. Like I would never I'd be like hit on him too.
Yeah.
It just would come out of me.
Yeah.
And and I would always contemplate in my head, am I gay? Am I gay? Am I gay? And when we play the spin the bottle with girls and guys, I would kiss the guy too if I landed on him. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then and I'd always ask my friends that are chicks, I'm like, hey, how was he in bed? Like I just with one of the girls, I'd just be curious. Like I like being friends with girls more than I did with guys. Girls are actually funner to hang out with than guys are. Guys are just very territorial about everything.
Well, it's weird because I find
I prefer hanging out with
guys. Right?
I get along better with girls because when you are like I'm a very loner alpha because I do everything my way or the highway. I hate this is why I run teams and don't play for teams. This is why I asked to play for the Hot Wheels because I can't play. Nobody wants to play with me because I'm too like opinionated. So that Alex brought me on the team and I was quiet for like 3 games. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking say
you were actually really
word.
quiet the last time I played with you. I was like, what's wrong with
And
Joel?
then she's like, oh, you're weird, you're quiet. I'm like, well, because every time I say something, like for the Deeks, for example, they're so simps, all beta males, and I say one fucking thing. I'm like, hey, because I play to win. I don't play to fucking lose. Like you guys play with your buddies, which is understandable. Most teams just play with their buddies. Doesn't care of the skill level of who the fuck they are. They just play, which is understandable. But all my teams are all winners. If you are fat or a simp or want to get vaccinated, you're literally kicked off the team next day.
You're double vaxxed. You're not fucking playing for my team there, boy.
During the pandemic, I kicked them all off my team. Get the fuck off my team. Because me and Meek are all the same mindset. We had people ratting, so I was fucking I was kicking the rats out. And I'm only fit in with alpha mindsets, but I like being the alpha, but I like being with sigmas. Sigmas are like one under alpha. Just what Cam's a sigma. He's an alpha, but he's not like outspoken. I'm very opinionated.
He's more shy.
Yeah, if I don't like you, I'm gonna tell you how it is, or I'm gonna correct you. And people hate being corrected. Like for the Deeks, win the face off back, not forward. That's why I got kicked off the team because I'd yell at them like, let's win a fucking championship. You know, Hot Wheels do have alphas. It's probably why I don't fit in is because a few of the alpha boys, you're like I tried everything to be nice to this. I'm not gonna say his name, but you could just tell he doesn't like me. I just like, I can see why I'm not full time because this one guy just does not like me, and I get it because he's got his crew. You know, there's one alpha and his crew. There's on my team, I'm the alpha. There's my sigmas, and we all correct each other in a different ways. So I'm like, okay, I get it. It just is what it is. This is why I run teams now. I do everything on my own. I run my own companies because I have to do it my way, my vision, because I don't want anyone else butting in. And then if I bring someone on board or I'm playing someone else's, I've been fired from every career but real estate. Because real estate, you're your own boss. Because I try to do it my way or not. I don't like to listen. I hate authority. Don't tell me what to do. I've always been like that since I was 3 years old. That's just who I am. But anyways, going back to the pansexual thing. So when I made out guys and thought guys were hot, I hooked up with a guy, not sexually. I got a blowjob from a guy, and I didn't have sex. No. And then I was like,
you just gave me a fucking blowjob.
He was actually a transition.
Okay.
But hotter than every girl.
Wait, so sorry. Was a girl to a guy? That is where I get confused.
So a guy to a girl.
A guy to a girl. Okay.
Oh, okay. So it was a guy but looked like a girl.
Yeah, but like hotter. Like I didn't know it was a guy until after. and it was hot, like fucking. She was a smoke show, and then I was like, I should have included in the Adam's apple, but I didn't know the time guys and girls didn't have Adam's apple at the time. And then good blowjob, but then the voice came out, and I was like, and then the one thing that turned me off from it, she's like, "Do you want to cuddle?" I was like, "No, get the fuck out of my house!" Like this one was like 22. I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely not gay. I definitely find men attractive." But pansexual is not just a male thing. It's I think anything's attractive.
It's a personality
thing. Like personalities. Like I've seen women that are plus size girls walk into a Walmart and just their energy, sexuality is so attractive.
Well, that's how I am. I'm pansexual too.
It's like beautiful. I'm just like, that girl is overweight, but she is hot as fuck because she's so confident. The one thing I hate about men or like women is when they walk in a room and they're you just smell low confidence. They just like look at the ground, like shrugging their shoulders. I'm just like, I don't care. You're not hot. Like, or even business. It's unattractive.
No, it's a thing. And a lot of people don't understand the whole pansexual thing because that's something that I've honestly been since I was born. And I never understood what it was. But it was like, it's not a man. It's not a woman. It's not a type. It's just like an energy almost. And it's just... You can't even describe it. It's like, oh, that person has it. And it's just... My celebrity
crush right now, I don't crush on women. I crush on men celebrities. And my celebrity crush right now is the guy that played Elvis. Butler. Austin Butler. He is so hot.
He is.
Oh my. We just watched Masters of the Air and he stars in it too. I was like, Claire, you fuck this. I'll fuck him first. But his voice is just dreamy. Then he's just in this biker movie, riding a bike in leathers. I was like, I didn't care about the women that were on the road. Like, this guy's hot as fuck, man. I can see why this guy's probably one of the hottest guys, and he's probably the hottest guy as a movie actor right now.
I'd say so
because he's young, up and coming. He's like the new Leo.
He's super hot.
He's a good actor too, and he's fucking gorgeous. That guy. I don't even care if my wife had kids with him. Like he's so hot. I get it because like I get that. Like I'd be more like hurt if like I found out she fucked a guy and he was ugly and broke. I'd be like, oh, that's a really stab to me. If he's hot, like
I've heard that before. Actually.
That's a fucking kick in the nuts. If he's Austin Butler hot, I'm like, I understand it. I get it. I understand it because I would too.
Yeah.
You know, if I had Austin Butler looking female want to give me a blowjob, I'm gonna do it too, bro. Yeah, but like when you sleep with the ugly guy, that's a fucking kick in your teeth.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, this is like when hot women. This is always say women.
So this might be also why so and so chose who he chose, because what I did was.
Yeah, but you're substantially hotter. Then actually,
so what I get the paradigm now. That
yeah.
paradigm of my mistake was
now that makes sense. Yeah,
I get it.
So much of a gut punch of like
emotions.
Why?
I always have these.
So there could be that, but I don't know.
I think it might be that because I watch these videos on X. X is such a good social media because it's all truth now. It's honesty. You know, it's always the number one thing is emotional. Like I just got married to this guy, and on my honeymoon, he caught me texting my ex saying goodbye, like just goodbye.
Yeah.
And he dumped me over that. It's just because it was emotional. Why are you texting your ex on our honeymoon goodbye? Like
there is emotion for sure.
That's worse than cheating.
That's what I've always thought too. Is that the whole emotional thing is because you go out of your way, but
I don't know. I know that I was in the wrong, and I know 100% that I hurt him.
Yeah, but now you changed forever because of it.
100%, yeah. But I also know that there was a reason that it came to that. Like people don't just do what they do, you know. Like I was very deprived and alone, and got attention from other people.
I'm going to translate.
It's unfortunate.
I know why you did it, but I'm going to translate something into something that's going to help you understand something bigger. Sometimes there's a thing called the universe or God, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So Matt is the wrong guy for you, clearly. Okay, you're both wrong for each other. But you had to go through that experience because now it set you up to understand something. So when you meet the right one, Cam, that you'll be changed forever. So it will actually last. I had to be a piece of shit.
I had to make those
I had
mistakes.
to be a piece of shit. And I had to be a loser to know how to be a winner. Yeah. You're not born a winner. No one is. You have to go through hell. No.
Came out of the womb a fucking winner.
No. That's called entitlement. You have to. The greatest men I ever met or greatest women go through hell. Not just sexuality, anything, parenting, upbringing, everything.
That's life. You gotta have your lessons. Grow.
I don't regret anything I did because it turned me into the man today. I was a cokehead for 7 years, like major addict, ended up in the hospital, ICU. I don't regret it. I had nose surgery, everything. but it turned me into the man I am today. This is why, like, I play for 4 hockey teams.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing.
Right?
I don't regret
yeah.
being married at 23.
But you have to learn.
I was so young.
You have to learn the hard way sometimes. And if you always learn on easy mode, you never learn. That's why you have to learn on the hard mode. And now you know for a fact that when you devote yourself to someone, even though you hate, this sounds like a lot of work, it's the most beautiful thing in the world, because there's nothing worse than dying alone.
No, not devoting yourself doesn't seem like a lot of work. It's just
Devoting yourself is work.
No, I know, but it doesn't seem, that's not what I'm like repulsed by. It's just the fact that
you're still 20 though. You're still talking 20s.
I'm not 20. I'm 28.
You're still 20s, bro.
No, what I'm super like just unattracted to when you guys talk about marriage is just the whole making things work. Because to me, if you have to make
the mundane
things work,
part of it.
if you have to make it work, then why?
You know who's gonna win this war is when you actually do get married. I'm gonna send you a card on your wedding day, and it's gonna say I'm not gonna say from who. It's gonna say I told you so. That's all it's gonna say. You're like, oh, Joel sent that. I'm not gonna say who it was from. It's just gonna say I told you so.
Okay,
yeah.
honestly, whatever. Yep, send it my way.
Know what it is? Girls like you do think that way, but you have to switch your paradigm to our thinking if you want it to last. That's true.
No, but like I don't want to switch anything, because I just am who I am and I'm already happy.
Well then, honey, you're gonna be
like,
if you want to marry someone, it's gonna be a simp that serves you.
I'm gonna say this, that I am not opposed to meeting someone. I'm not opposed to marriage, but I am already so happy where I am that I don't want to make things work.
Well, okay, I'm gonna ask you this question. It has nothing to do with marriage. Have you ever wanted something so bad that you'll do anything to make it work?
Yes.
What?
Relationships with my siblings, where I want them to
So
be
there
happy
you go.
so badly
It's
that
gonna be
I
like
will
that.
do anything.
So for example, my wife is not my blood.
Yeah.
She's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I put her above approach than my family.
Yeah.
Because she will, once my parents die off, she is the family.
Yeah.
Right? She is the one that's going to hold my hand through the hard times and the bad times, because life is not fucking rosies and rainbows. Like, life gets harder as you get older, not easier. And as you age, like I always talk to old people, is aging just getting health problems until you die? And that's it. Like, that's it. But at least you have someone there. That's what you have to prepare for.
You know what? Maybe you just cracked my code a little bit, is that no one will ever be put on a pedestal higher than my sisters. And I think it's because we've bonded so much over tragedy.
I'm not saying they're above your pedestals. I'm saying they'll always be there for you.
No, I know. So I think I have that fulfillment through them, is that I know that they'll always be there. And I know that even if they're married off and they have kids, I'm still like, they're still my number one.
As they should be.
Yeah.
They should be doing that. Like, you know, I hope most siblings are all like that. If I had 4 kids, I hope they're the exact same way as your sisters. That's how they should be. That should be normalized. But I'm saying when you build a family with someone, it's rare for sure. Like, it's less than 10% chance nowadays of making it last.
Yeah.
But at least you can say at the end of the day, you fucking try to give it your all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I always say now, like, if we ever broke up, I'm never dating again.
Yeah.
I will never entertain another girl ever again. I will be single, do my thing, and never date again. Because yes, it is a lot of work. This is why you see people that when their spouses dies at like 60 or 70, like, would you get married again? Never. They always say never with such hate in their voice, because it's a lot of work and you get burnt out.
Well, it's the whole work thing though. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's either you meet the one or you don't. There shouldn't have to be all this work put behind it. Like, to me,
no, it should be easier
when you're dating. It should be easy.
Yeah, like ours was very natural.
Yeah,
like we met naturally. Like, I believe in natural. It should be natural. If you from day one make it work, then it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
But naturally, everything was natural. We just vet each other. But then when you get 5, 6, 10 years, you have the things I'm talking about. Work is sexual attraction.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. Making time when you have a kid, like we're
but
like,
then again, like, shouldn't you just be attracted to the person that you're
not understanding? So when you have children and you eventually feel this, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Vera needs booby time 3 times during the night. I can't be woken up because I need to work. I need to work in the morning. So making time is the work. Like, for example, this week is her fertile week. So we're keeping the kid in daycare till 5 p.m. for a reason. She's home at 3:30.
Yeah.
So we have an hour and a half to bang all week because we got to get pregnant. So we have to make, that's what I'm talking about, work. Everything else is natural and flowing. You just have to make time for each other. And then, because we notice, like, if we start getting a little bitter towards each other, the number one thing that's missing is cuddle time. So we have to make that work, because you just with work and kids and life, marriages are like 2 hours out of the day, maybe a good hour we get to each other, watching a fucking movie, having a conversation, putting our phones away, and just talking to each other upstairs by the fireplace. How's your day? Like, making effort, because if you just do your duties, you start going like this. And then when you notice the kids stuff, well, we don't want to break. So you got to correct it back to this. And that's just a complete till the end of time like that. Right. And then when the kids are gone, then it's like this. Right. So, you are right.
The kids are the problem.
No, it's just extra time out of the day. They're never a problem. They're the reason
No,
why.
I don't mean a problem. I mean, making it work is because of the kid.
It just changes the relationship a little bit.
Here's a fun fact. We already agreed that if we never had kids, we'd never be together.
Okay.
Because we dated to have children.
Yeah.
When I first met her at age 32, I gave her a 2-year timeline of what I want, and I want to know what your 2 timeline is. What do you want to be? Where do you want to be at? I want kids and marriage. That was mine. She wanted it too. So then we agreed, right? You have to have that conversation because a lot of people date and then you don't have the conversation of kids until later.
Yeah.
Some of them don't want kids, which is fair. But you should have had that conversation. Don't waste each other's time. That's what I'm saying. As you get older, just don't waste each other's time. If I always say, if you don't want to marry her or him after a year, don't date that person anymore. Don't wait 5-10 years to figure it out. Then you just wasted more time, right? So,
what did your wife do differently that other wives or spouses don't do after they have kids? Like, what would you say she's done well? Because you were just talking about how women change after they have kids. So, actually, like, what is something that we can look for or
so this is a big
be aware
thing.
of?
I didn't believe this was true. Postpartum depression.
Right.
They don't want to be fucking touched. After I couldn't have sex with her after 6 months because I was just like the kids' faces there. It just didn't turn me on at all. I just couldn't bang it. She looked beautiful. She only gained like 10 pounds during pregnancy. She looked perfect. She dieted, worked out the whole time, just what she wanted. She just felt like she needed to do that. But my kids' faces there, I just couldn't bang her. So after pregnancy, like 6 months, you can't even, because it's like sewing up and stuff. That was fine. I understood it because I was there delivery. I had way more respect for women during delivery. I was like, wow, you women are fucking tough fuckers. Like, you guys, every man says this once they watch the delivery of a birthing process. Like, you grow such respect, so caring. I didn't even care about sex. I was like, I just want you to make sure you're okay. I was more worried about her, not the baby. I was like, I don't want her to die during pregnancy. I need to make sure you live. I need to make sure she has money. I want to make sure it's a family. Like, I was worried about that, not about sex. Like, it just naturally turns off. Like, I wasn't even horny at all. And then 6 months, I'm like, oh, we just realized we haven't even banged. Do we still love each other? Like, we're like worried. Like, oh yeah, no, we had sex. Okay, that's good. But why don't you want it? Your brain changes. Now we just mate for kids. Yeah. Like, cause we're logical that I study genetics. She studies women's genetics. We compare notes. Like, we just base things on genetics. Doesn't matter who you date. You're eventually going to lose sexual attraction, not attraction, sexual attraction. My wife's a 10. She's hot as fuck. Like, she's 6-pack. She looks good. Guys hit her on all the time. That's how I know she's hot. You know, I'm a decent looking guy. I make myself better and better as I go, so I can compete with her and be what she wants me to be, so she stays attracted to me. So it's like a give and take. You know, I didn't even know I was fucking fat until a year ago, and then I lost 50 pounds over a year. I still have another 20 pounds to go to get a 6-pack, but I'm gonna get there because I have the right coaching involved. But I didn't even know I knew she liked me for me because I was fat when I met her. I was like, wow, you actually liked me for me because I was a fucking fat whale. Like, I saw pictures of pre and after. I was like, ew. Yeah. Like, you like that? She's like, well, I didn't notice any difference. Like, you're still the same to me now. And I'm just like, yeah, that's unacceptable. And also, like, in our household, we want to be the best versions possible we can because we want to have better outcomes for kids. Yeah. I always tell dads, I get mad at fat dads or broke dads. What is your son going to aspire to be? A fucking fat, broke loser like you? like, no, it's true though. Like, if you have a real alpha in the house, that's true though, girls. Come on, man. It's like, I think it's like, especially a son, like, you have a son in the house and if you want good outcomes for your kids, you have to be a leader in the household because your Superman should be your dad. Yeah. Growing up, your hero should be your dad, like a real dad. Like, you look up to your dad. Like, I looked up to my dad too as a kid. Like, but you don't want to turn into your dad if he's not optimal. If you want your kid to win in today's life, how hard it is financially, you got to be the best version. Your kid's got to learn from somebody, not TV. Yeah. Maybe the dad should be a dad. Yeah. The mom should be a mom. Yeah. You know what I mean? Be a good mom. And so anyways, go back to postpartum. It was 14 months total of no sex. Yeah. And I brought it up to her and we would have sex, but there's nothing worse than having sex when you have to bring it up to someone. Yeah. Hey, we should bang. Like, it should just happen naturally, you know? Like, it's called force. It feels forced. It's not hot or sexy. She didn't snap out of it. Honestly, girls, you're going to hate this answer, but I came home smelling like another girl's perfume once. And she was like, were you with another girl? I'm like, yeah, it's been 14 months. I just can't do it anymore. You're not, I have to force you or tell you to have sex with me. I don't want to live like this anymore. And I'm trying to make this work mentally. I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to sleep with the girls, but I finally just did it. I did it after like 3 years of not doing it. Just did it once. And the next day, because girls love competition. They genetically do. She had fucking hair done, high heels, looked just what she used to look like, makeup on her knees, sucking my dick, like having a good time. But like she made me feel wanted again. And I was just like, that was the best cure, like, than having a conversation. Because when women,
so like, all the guys out here listening, go sleep with other women, right?
No, a lot of guys can't do it.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
No. It's a joke because a lot of guys can't do what I do. Like, I just set my relationship up so I can do those things. If I was married like normal guys do, how they just don't do any paperwork or anything, I would be fucking cleaned out tomorrow, right? So, and I also was honest from day one. Like, this just, you agreed to this. I agreed to spend millions on you. Like, girls always pick up the cheating part. I'm like, how much money does this fucking bitch cost me per month? And how much money have I invested with her? She had my kids. Like, what's worse, millions of dollars or I slept with one girl? Like, come on, dude. Like we got to have some like fairness here, or like some accountability, or like acknowledgement that I gave you what you wanted, so I get what I want. It's a transactional deal sometimes. And then honestly, that cured or avoid that postpartum depression the next day. Like, girls always fall in line when they know you have girls in line. It's the number one saying guys have. Like, girls love winners. They naturally genetically do. You guys do settle for the simp nice guy sometimes, but it only lasts so long. You guys eventually get bored. The one thing you can never do to a girl is bore them. Girls love chaos and they love drama. They love the gossip. That's just what girls are. They naturally love drama. They love it. They do. But if you're nice to a girl 24/7, she's going to dry up tomorrow. This is eventually going to happen.
I don't know.
Because you've been single for so long, you don't even know what dating is like anymore.
No, I know. Like I said earlier, that I don't want to just go date someone. Like I said, I'm so good. If someone comes in and they give me a good trap massage and I don't know, they're fun and I have a good time with them, then sure. But
look, for example, when I met Alana's fiance, were they married?
Okay, wait, I actually have to get going though.
Okay, 2 minutes.
No, just boyfriend. They were living together.
But when I met them, I was just like, clearly this is never going to last. And are they still together? Exactly. Because why? He was too nice, too simpish, too beta male. She walked all over him. The number one thing I learned about women is they will always test you till the end of time. They always try to poke, see how much shit they can get away with, or try to get away with things, or just walk that line, because they want a man to be a man and push back and say, this is the line, do not cross it.
These just
and a woman
honestly,
crosses it.
Also sound like really toxic.
Pardon?
Traits in these women. Like, these traits that you keep on bringing up, they sound like toxic. Like, I don't know. I just feel like a woman shouldn't be pushing and she shouldn't be pushing. And
most women do. When a woman gets really bored, just bored in general, they will try to just get some drama and whatever.
But the thing is that then I don't think that's the right woman, because
most married women do this.
Why can't she, like, if she's so bored, like, why can't she? Like,
so, for example, if your man, if your man is so nice to you all the time, catering to you, just whatever it is, and women get bored, right? Everyone does, and then she kind of like throws up a little bit of attitude to see if you get a reaction out of you to be a man, right? My mom does this to her husband all the time because she wants him to be a fucking man and just be assertive. Don't be rude to your woman. Never yell at her, scream at her. I'd never even yell or scream. I don't even swear at my girl. We have common mutual respect, but like, be assertive. Women get turned on by that. Right? Like, if your man is just complacent, you just been single for so long, it's just maybe out of your realm of this stuff. But like, Alex maybe knows this. Like, the guys are just too complacent. The sex is bad. And you got to have some good sex here, even if it's once or twice a month. It's something than nothing.
I'm just, honestly, I'm so out of that whole dating.
You're truly single.
I'm truly single. Like, it's not one of those things where I'm like, have guys on the go.
It's just something that you haven't experienced in a long time of like just being in a relationship for a longer period of time.
And it will happen.
And that maturity level too, because when you're younger and you're dating, it's different. You're young.
You have options when you're young. When you hit the 30s, guys and girls, like, you got to make the right fucking decisions, and you have to put up with more bullshit to be with someone, because dating past 40, the saying is it's just leftovers.
Yeah.
Sifting through the one that's less fucked up or less baggage, and then I'll date them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I got 12 years. I got my 12 years.
Yeah. But how do you want to spend that 12 years?
Just being me. Just doing what I'm doing right now.
Oh, I hope the best. You'll get whatever you desire.
Oh, I know. The universe is on my side.
Yeah. Imagine being a chick that is born ugly and having to behave.
I'm not.
Pretty girls have options. You all do.
We're ending it there.
Yeah. Cool.